So I recently had a ponderance, nay, a frustration. I was very irritated with how do I phrase? I was playing with a guy, right? I queued into a game with this dude who was like really bad at the game, right? But like everyone, like they feel like they're good at the game. I feel like I'm good at the game sometimes, but I also recognize that I'm very bad at the game. But this guy that we're playing with, right? He starts complaining because he's playing Raze, and he's like, I guess I have to entry for us to do anything. And we're playing on bind, and I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of your job as Raze. Like, I'm playing Sova. I'm probably not going to entry most of the time. I'm kind of expecting you to be the one to go in, so it's a little weird that you're having this frustration, like that you have to entry for us to do anything. That's kind of your job. That's why you locked Duelist, right? But anyway, I'm having this issue with this homie, right? And at the end of the game, I do throw that out there. I wasn't picking beef with this guy in the game, but I do throw that out there. I was like, hey, it's kind of your job to entry Raze, just so you know. So next time you don't have to complain about that. Fucking adds me, bro. He is pissed off. Starts DMing me. He's going off.
Wow, what is this thing, that thing? You're bad at this game. Fucking, you're dog shit and stuff.
And I threw out there, because if you guys don't know, I work for Skill Capped, and I was like, maybe you should watch some guide channels. I was like, maybe you could learn a thing or two about the game if you just watched like a guide or two, you know, like go through. And then he started going off about how I'm an idiot and micro mechanics are way more different or way more difficult than macro play. And he started going off about how micro mechanics are way more different than macro play, and that it takes a lot more to learn how to aim and shoot people than it does to actually like deal with rotations or set up a default or trade out your teammates. He was just like really convinced that aim was the biggest factor in this game, and that like every single person who's hard stuck Radiant, like they can't get onto a pro team, must just be because their aim isn't good enough, right? If a player isn't pro, it must be like an aim thing. Their aim just isn't better. I know I've been using an Odin in deathmatch recently. I know you guys hate me. Maybe you saw my Twitter clip. It was hilarious. Let the clip roll. Oh my god, I'm fucking dead, bro. That clip, literally, I was dying crying. I just have a theory. I think the Odin is a lot stronger than people give it credit for. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to practice with the Odin a little bit. I want to try to get better with it. I'm Odin Sova now. Sova, Odin, one trick. That's beside the point. Just try to ignore the fact that I'm using Odin in its DM for the rest of this video, okay? Basically, I suggested that this guy watches some guides, and obviously he was upset. I'm just kind of rustling his jimmies a little bit at this point, you know? Sometimes that's just how it goes. And yeah, he was getting really upset. He was like, macro play isn't even difficult. It's just like, it's just an aim issue. And I was like, what do you think you did wrong that game? He was like, I think I messed up a few satchels. I think that like I missed some shots. And I was like, okay, bro. And then he threw out another comment, and I think this one irked me more than the previous one. The previous one, it's like, okay, whatever. He doesn't watch guide channels. That doesn't bother me. It's like, whatever. The second one was that I asked him if he ever records his games and like watches back if he like messed up or made mistakes so he can actually like review his games. And he said,
no, I don't do that because I'm not stupid and I'm capable of analyzing in the moment.
This is when I knew that this guy was bad. But not only him, I feel like there's other people who have these opinions, bro. And I feel like that's probably why the community is so freaking dumb in this game, bro. Sorry, I know that you're part of the community and you take that really personally. If you're watching this video, you're like, God, this guy's such a piece of shit. He thinks that he's better than he actually is. I don't think I'm good at this game. I think that I have an okay understanding of how like the game functions and how like you can play the game effectively, but I'm not good at executing it. I'm really not. Crosshair placement sucks. Communication sucks at times. My aim isn't great. Like, I think that I definitely struggle in a lot of areas in the game. Don't worry about me. You worry about yourself. But this is my frustration that I'm voicing right now. It just pissed me off to hear somebody say that the fact that like VOD review is useless if you know how to analyze in the moment. That's not what VOD review is for, bro. VOD review is to see everything else that's going on in the game, because there's a lot going on in the game at all points in time, and pick up on those mistakes and actually be able to analyze it afterwards, because you're taking in so many stimuli when you play this game. There's so many fucking things going on at all points in time, and you physically can't pick up on every single mistake that you make within the game. It was just irritating, bro, to like realize that like there are people who actually believe this. And like I said, guys, I work for Skill Cap, so I do have a bias here when I say this. I feel like guide channels in general for Valorant or any game get like a bad rep. Players, their egos are too big for them to possibly think that they could ever do something wrong in the game. It must be somebody else's fault, or that they could possibly learn something from one of these guide channels, whether it's pro guides, game leap, skill caps, whichever one that you may choose. It's irritating to me that they don't think they could possibly learn a single thing from any of these videos. Don't get me wrong, there is definitely some clickbait garbage on all of these channels. I will say that like firsthand, but like it's frustrating to deal with, guys. So my theory is that there's a lot of wall bangable things with the Odin, right? And I feel like the Odin, it has so many bullets. It's not that bad. It's not as good as obviously like a Vandal in terms of like peeking angles. But like if you hip fire with this thing, you could still beam people pretty decently. It's not terrible. We'll see how this ends up going. I'm gonna do this for probably like maybe a week or something and then give up on it and do something else. This is kind of what I do with a lot of trends. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna play KO for a week. I'm a KO main, and I stop playing KO. Yeah, I'm curious. I want to try it out. I want to see if I can get like actually good with an Odin. Can you be good with an Odin? I feel like you could, right? This is a gun that nobody uses. Maybe because it's bad. We'll find out in a week, huh? But yeah. Anyway, that was just my frustration, guys. I want people to like stop egoing everything. I think that's gonna be like really hard for a lot of people to believe, but like aim is definitely a part in this game, don't get me wrong, and having good aim can be really helpful. For the most part in Valorant, the thing that makes players good is not normally their aim, right? Tens has incredible aim. He does, but the thing that makes him good is the fact that he's a really smart player and he makes smart decisions. But that's what I'm saying, is that like you don't go pro off of aim alone. That's not a thing. And you probably aren't going to hit Radiant off of aim alone. If Valorant were an RPG and you got to invest points into like different skills and stuff, I feel like most players would be investing all of their points into aim, and that's really not what you should do, right? Like if you guys have ever like tried to increase your rank on aim labs, you'll notice that it's a lot easier to increase your rank if you do like the different types of exercises, right? No, but yeah, if you diversify and you put your time into like different trees, you'll find that you rank up faster in aim labs. And I think it's the same thing in Valorant, right? Like in Valorant, if you want to actually improve at the game, it's a lot better to focus on things other than your aim, because your aim is going to improve over time regardless. But like other things aren't going to get better if you don't focus on it. That's why VOD review is so important. Your game sense probably won't get that much better if you don't actually focus on the things that you're doing wrong. Communication is a big one. A lot of people don't realize that their communication is dog shit. They literally just don't realize it. My communication's terrible, bro. When I talk, like, I tilt in games, like I hard tilt and I just stop calming. And that's why I lose half of the games that I play, I would say. Maybe not half. Half sounds like a high number, but I lose a lot of games because of that, because I just don't talk to people and I get irritated. And I start mauling and I make fun of raises who say that they have to entry and they get irritated over it. And at the end of the day, that's partly my fault. That's why I'm at the rank that I'm at, right? My aim isn't amazing. This is something I mentioned before. My aim is not spectacular. As you can tell, I'm using an Odin in deathmatch right now. That's probably a hindrance for me. I don't think my aim is the thing holding me back. I think I could probably hit maybe mid immortal, high immortal with the aim that I have. I don't know if I get it Radiant. I think I'd probably have to improve my aim a little bit to hit Radiant. But like I said, dude, I just don't want to put all of my skills into... Nah, if I could have good aim, I would do it too. It's cool to hit crisp shots. But hitting nice shots is what feels good to most players. No, most players don't like... They don't care about like the reads or like setting up defaults, playing slowly. They don't care about actually learning how to play the game. They literally just want to click ahead. That's my theory. They just came from other FPS games where you just have guns and you click heads. That's what you do, right? And like they couldn't possibly learn anything else in the game. That's okay though. Let me know what you guys think. I was gonna record a whole video about this, but I decided to just do it this way, and I died to Astra. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.